How is our judicial system going to prosecute all the bad actors related to the injection fraud? How will the military step in if they have their own bad apples to deal with in leadership? Is this what you meant by common or natural law replacing admiralty or corporate law? Thank you.
Yes. I don't know how that's all going to shake out or how it's actually shaking out now, other than the fact that all the bad apples are clearly exposing themselves. And, you know, I honestly believe that there is a significant number of people within the bad apple group that made mistakes and are now being blackmailed, that made mistakes and there are threats against their families, their loved ones, which is why they're doing the bidding. And then there are others who have jumped to the other side and have been trying to protect their families and have not succeeded. This whole thing is so complicated, and it's so dangerous at the point where we are at right now. I mean, it literally is dangling on the edge of a knife. That's how close we are to the last move. This isn't going to last much longer. We know the quantum system is being put into place. We know that the U.S. economy, the Western economies, the fiat central banking system is collapsing. And it has to, because almost everything attached to it is negative energy. Not that the intention behind the companies and the corporations and the small businesses that are using the monetary system they're not. But it was designed to take us to a place of total tyranny. They had a long-term agenda, and they were playing the long game. And the long game was meant to be implemented in 2030. And that is where, the extinguishing of 90% of humanity. Now, it's my understanding that Henry Kissinger is now coming out and saying, well, yeah, we have these concerns about these bio labs. Ladies and gentlemen, don't believe a word he says. Okay, don't believe a word he says. He's the one who coined the phrase, we were all useless eaters. All right, so don't buy any of that bullshit. All right? He's been on the wrong side since day one. He hasn't found Jesus. Don't even go there. He hasn't found God. Don't even go there. All right? You see, it's this kind of shit. They're going to put somebody in front of the narrative and try to make them like a good guy when they're not. They've been doing this all along. Barack Obama is a perfect example of that. Hillary Clinton is a even better example of that. This thing is so big. This thing is so big. It would be like, somebody on Telegram said, well, somebody asked the question and have Alex give us the entire galactic history in 5 minutes. It's not possible. It's taken me 30 years to lay it out for you. If you want to know, go look at the first 10 years of talks that I gave. Okay? And then you have, and then when you're done with that, listen to David Icke, Michael Tazarian, James Gilliland, Lisa Royale, Carla Rueckert, Jordan Maxwell. There's so many people who have contributed to this, to sharing and exposing the history of the planet. You know, the old guard, the front miners, the ones who started this movement. You know, and this goes back to the 50s. Carrie Cassidy. Oh my God, you can't leave her out of anything. She's been so instrumental. All these people have a piece of the puzzle. And sometimes things overlap. Sometimes things are a little bit different, or they have a different opinion. And that's because, you know, the perspective that I've given you is the Andromedan perspective of us and the situation we're in and the history. Elena has the Pleiadian perspective. Vivian Chevet, she comes from the Arcturian. Simon Parks comes from the Cassiopean perspective. You know, everybody sees it through a different lens. And it's okay that people have a different opinion, but what's important is to pay attention to what laps on top of each other. Okay, where the information matches, where it's in sync, in alignment. That's where you need to be. Because that's where everybody's on the same page. No two souls ever think alike. They're not meant to. They're meant to be different. That's how the Creator learns about itself, is through us and our experiences. And we take that knowledge, we take that information, we take that evolution back to source. Which is why it's isness. Okay? And it's beyond our comprehension, it's beyond the comprehension of everyone that is not source. Because it's constantly evolving as we are.